Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. I gotta start with this from Cowboy. If the banking cartel will debank billionaires like Brad Garlinghouse and others, they will debank anyone. Right now, what's going on with the banks is this. They want you storing your money in a checking or savings account. Some banks don't want you buying crypto at all. But they also want you buying bank products that give you very little returns on your investment. Now, I think this is all going to change once SAB 121 gets passed early next year. All of a sudden, the banks are going to open their arms to people that are involved with crypto. It's going to change everything because SAB 121 allows the banks to custody digital assets. But you know, the banks are fighting the new financial system as well, the digital age, because they're making a lot of money in the current system, in the traditional financial system. It's the same reason when you talk to a millionaire or a multimillionaire about a new financial system that's coming, right away, they don't want to hear it because they're already making a lot of money in the current system. So why would they ever want a system that levels the playing field, that allows everyone a shot at making a lot of money? But it is coming, and that's what's building out. And I think all throughout next year, everything is going to start to really come together, because the only thing still holding us back are crypto regulations. Ripple's RELE on the super decks of the XRP ledger at Cosmoverse 2024 in Dubai. The symbiosis of order books and liquidity pools with XRP as a bridge asset. Take a listen to this.
The super decks. So the super decks experience, really what I was saying. On one side, you have the order books, so the decks. On the other side, the AMM. As a user, I go onto the AMM UI and I get best execution, best of both worlds between DEX and AMM. So yeah, full on-chain order books 24/7. You get the speed of XRPL, the scalability, so settling in 3 to 5 seconds, super cheap, as I was saying earlier.
Take notice she said it's super fast and super cheap. So in between the order books and AMM is liquidity pools and XRP as a bridge asset. Now imagine those AMMs gaining a lot of momentum. A lot of people are expecting that to happen over time. That is also going to add a lot of value to XRP over time. Everything that runs on the XRP ledger runs on XRP. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse emphasizes the number one issue to move the industry forward is that regulatory clarity on a global scale. Take a listen.
I mean, I literally think the number one issue to move the industry forward is that regulatory clarity on a global scale. I know that the FSC here in Korea is looking at some rules that apparently will be evaluated in the first half of 2025. Certainly the US seeing legislative movement there. But I think what's holding back the unlock in a lot of places is if we don't have regulatory clarity, you're going to continue to have financial institutions that are afraid to do this. And when that fear exists, they can't lean in aggressively. And so I'm very optimistic. Look, I'm more optimistic now about the next 5 years of crypto than I've ever been.
Brad's more optimistic now than ever before. And it's not going to take 5 years. You know, a lot of countries, they want to have crypto regulations in place before the end of 2025. The US is now going to fast track it. Other countries are going to fast track with the United States. But that's what's holding everything back, because there's a lot of institutions out there that will not get involved in this space until we have regulations in place. Mika is the beginning of all of it. And you see what's happening with Mika. Let's discuss the largest stablecoin in the space, USDT. If you think they adhere to regulations, think again. Tether left EU because they're non-compliant. This is coming from Coinbase. Take a listen.
What happens to the stable coins that aren't regulated then in the future, in the imminent future? One big one that everybody always has in mind, but
yeah.
What happens to regulated exchanges like yours or ones that are...
Yeah, so we communicated, and we're not the only, so Coinbase, we put out a statement, I think 2 weeks ago now, saying by the end of this year, we would delist, or we would take the necessary regulatory action on non-MiCA compliant stablecoins. So we didn't name any stablecoins, and frankly, we would love to see the big stablecoin that you're talking about and various others, to understand if they are going to get approved and regulated, and they should come let us know. But we will be prevented in Europe from doing certain things with non-MiCA compliant stablecoins from the end of this year, and so that's just a consequence.
So you could expect USDT to be leaving Coinbase at some point. But everybody argues, oh, Tether's still going to survive in the United States because of all the US debt that's tied up inside of Tether. Once they come up with a solution to the debt, which I think they're going to, once Trump takes the White House, the end of Tether is coming. This is going to be the biggest black swan in crypto when it happens, but then we are going to go into a whole different direction. RLUSD is going to rise like never before. USDC is going to take off as well. They're just going to swallow all the value that's in Tether right now. Tether has just abandoned its Euro stablecoin, EURT, due to its inability to comply with MiCA regulations in Europe. Now ask yourself, what will happen when the Trump administration introduces its stablecoin regulations next year? USDT will fail to comply and be forcibly shut down, bringing an end to 90% plus of the artificial trading volume currently propping up Bitcoin and others behind the scenes. When Tether goes down, it's taking Bitcoin with it. Nobody wants to admit it. And there's a lot of people out there shilling Tether like it's going to hold up. It's not going to happen. You see what's going on with Tether right now. When they're going to abandon EURT, Tether never plans to follow regulations at all. And they will just eventually disappear. When Tether implodes, the consequences that follow will force regulators to step in. This can also be a reason to fast-track stablecoin regulations. Like I said, there's a lot of things in the United States that don't get done because first they need a crisis. They need a reason to take action. Then once something happens, right away, we need stablecoin regulations right now. This could never happen again in the United States. That's what's going to happen with Tether, in my opinion. And like I said, I think this run is still going to play out. But at the end of this run, we are going to see something happen with Tether. Because I think the U.S. is going to have regulations in place by spring of 2025. Bank for International Settlements makes ISO 222 adoption claim for XRP and XLM. When you're holding a cryptocurrency like XRP, XLM, XDC, you don't have to worry about Tether collapsing. You don't have to worry about MiCA regulations affecting your portfolio because you're holding cryptocurrencies that are already compliant. They're part of the future. They're going to be the technology of the future. And you're not too late to any of these cryptocurrencies right now. Here's a list of the ISO 222 cryptocurrencies: XRP, XLM, XDC, Algo, HBAR, QNT, and ADA. Now, there's a lot of people talking about QNT. and because they removed themselves off of X. Here's the thing about Quant. Quant is not for retail investors. Quant, everything that they're doing is geared towards institutional investors. I'm never selling my QNT under 6 digits. I know it's a 6-digit cryptocurrency. IOTA also belongs on that list. But these are the cryptocurrencies that you should be holding a little bit of each of if you want to get to financial freedom and generational wealth. Because any one of these cryptocurrencies have the ability to give you those type of gains. They're all going to have a fantastic run-up during alt season. Justin, World Economic Forum member, admits that XRP is a good coin. But they're talking about it the way it held up while everything was crashing out. Once we seen that big dip happen, XRP held up very well. And I think what happened with XRP, it was like a market correction. Once Trump got elected, it changed everything for a handful of cryptocurrencies. The whole market moved, but some cryptocurrencies really moved. XRP was one of them. And, you know, it instantly took us above $1. And once alt season begins, I think a lot of things are going to be happening during alt season that are going to continue to push the price of XRP higher and higher, even during alt season. We could see institutional adoption happen. XRP is set to dominate crypto, with Robert Mitchnick, former Ripple representative, backing its global bridge role. XRP's future is looking extremely promising. Now, he's over there at BlackRock, and I want to remind you, BlackRock is not here for Bitcoin. BlackRock is here for tokenization. They're here for the disruption that's about to happen in the financial system. XRP disrupts the entire banking system. Think about that. That's what you're holding. Take a listen to what he says here.
Field from being able to kind of have widespread adoption, but unlike, you know, in the early days, permission blockchain use case here or crypto here, there's not one institution in finance who doesn't have some path to being disrupted by DeFi, right? So everything else has been a mix of kind of opportunities and maybe threats. DeFi forces everyone to say, what does this mean for us if this actually happens? So everybody's paying attention. You're just not at the point yet where you've got kind of banks and asset managers.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. The banks and the asset managers, they know the disruption's coming, and they're fighting back against it right now. But once they have a clear path into this, they will take that path. That's why I said at the beginning of this video, right now, the banks don't want anyone getting involved with crypto. But once the banks can hold digital assets, all of a sudden, they're going to be offering crypto options to their customers. They're going to want to get their customers involved with crypto. Everything will shift once that happens. But even BlackRock, they know the big disruption is happening. They know the path forward is tokenization, a level playing field, a digital financial system. That's why they're here. The reason that they went with the Bitcoin ETFs is to get institutions to invest in Bitcoin, get their feet wet in the crypto waters. But they are going to shift all of their customers towards utility eventually. Even those Bitcoin ETFs, they're going to end up tokenized on the XRP ledger, on Stellar, on Hedera, on other networks as well. Because that's the path forward for Bitcoin. You know, you're not going to see the run-ups like you see now once that happens. Maybe Bitcoin gives a 10% move or a 5% move here and there. But the real money makers are going to be these utility-driven cryptocurrencies. And they're not going to run on propped up tether value created out of nothing. They're going to be running on actual value, actual money flows coming in through these institutions. That's what you're holding. That's why I'm always urging you not to sell too soon. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.